We've got the DJI Pocket 3 and the iFootage Anglerfish HL1 C4 lights. We're going to test these out, show you a real life example, and I'm also going to show you how you can use these lights for creating short films. The type of lighting I like to have the light high and pointing down. So the advantage of using this on a little monopod is you can capture high quality lighting on your Pocket 3. Oh, look at the light in there. Look at this. This is why I think if you're not vlogging, and I understand not everyone's going to want to take a light round with you, that said, this monopod I take with me anyway. So for me it was a bit of a no-brainer, and what I'm doing is I'm actually holding both the Pocket 3. I'm just making a bit of a cross, and for me it's comfortable enough holding both the Pocket 3 and the monopod in one hand. If you notice here, I'm just trying to create like a little triangle here by having the light up here. One thing for a second here, guys. I understand if you're doing your vlogs and you want to capture that little bit, that quick shot, sometimes not using this and not using a professional lav can actually work in your favour. Let's say you're running around, you know, you're looking, it's like I'm being chased by Bigfoot. It's throwing the rock at me. It's just a hairy drunk guy. Those sorts of moments where you don't frame your shot and it's blended into a documentary or a vlog, that can actually work better. But if you want to do a talking section where you're walking for a long distance, you want to engage with the audience, you want high quality audio, you want the audience to be able to see your facial expressions, then I think it's worth considering this sort of setup. I'll show you a bit further back. You are going to be more noticeable to the public vlogging like this. There's a lot more to them than just using them in a vlog scenario. iFootage sent me 4 of them. And the advantage of this, if you're going to create more complicated scenes, you know, you can use the app, you can use them in conjunction with each other. And you can also set them so they can be in different colours themselves, or have them uniform so they all go one colour, they all switch on at one button. There's so many different ways you can customise them. This Lumen app, so look at this, I've got these settings here. So I can change, let's go to a white here. You see how that gives me a colder look? Let's go Sin City on this colour wheel here. On the go, I can create these cool shots. Now, when I did my social media detox, this was super important for doing these shots where I turned myself into a cyborg. I was using this red color wheel. I was using 3 of these lights to get that shot. The first time I used these lights was in the bed scene, where I'm showing myself addicted to social media. And I just used one of these lights here and had it down at the side. And it was just set to a teal colour, not on too strong, and then just use the natural light from the phone. Half an hour goes by. The next scene was in Rhyl, the Barley of Wales, and I placed a couple of these on the Blue Bridge in Rhyl just to light myself up a little bit. As you notice, they're magnetic, so you can just clip them onto lampposts, bridges, and it looks like they almost blend in with the structure, which is amazing. This is near water, so this magnet's better work. Stick it there, and it's stuck on. I was a bit nervous for a second. I did also use the lights in, just one light, in the drawing scene, even though it's not obvious. So I think that's what's the beauty with being able to control the intensity. You can set them to look very natural. I just stuck this on, I think it was some sort of post pillar that was magnetic, and had it on very low just to, I wanted to look like it was natural street lighting. You can control both the intensity and everything straight on the lights as well, so you don't have to go into the app. But I find the app easier. They come with a 1/4" 20 mount here, and they also supply you with a hot shoe adapter. You charge the lights here with USB-C, and if you want to add on portable charging, then that's of course an option. They come with a removable diffusion panel, so if you want to have more of a spotlight, harsher lighting, then you can use that here. I'll use this most of the time to give you that softer, diffused look. If you press the set button here, you can go across to green magenta shift compensation, which is pretty impressive for lights in this price bracket. So let's say in the future you want to get some studio lighting, or maybe have it already, then for these small lights you're going to be able to match it with those more professional, bigger lights. The battery life surprised me of these. iFootage advertised the HL1 C4s to be up to 2 hours. I tested this at full intensity and found it to be actually 2.5 hours. So it's unlike DJI, where they tell you the battery is going to be longer than it is.
iFootage seems to be the other way around, where they undervalue this is obviously a small sample size, but I found it to be just under 2.5 hours, which was a nice surprise. If you want to grab yourself a discount, then you've got my referral links in the description and the code Ian Anderson. Some of the disadvantage of the HL1 C4s. I'm not a huge fan of the funky colours in some of the other ones. iFootage sent me 4 lights and I prefer the black ones. I just think they're cleaner. So if I was going to buy it myself, I would pick up 3 or 4 black ones. And if I want to, I can add on a little sticker to say which is which. Obviously it's your choice. If you get the colourful ones, you're going to be able to see, oh, that's that light, easier. But then if you're going to turn up to a wedding, you're going to look like you're part of some sort of student neon party. I don't know. I think the black lights are much better. One disadvantage, and this is a little thing I've seen on reviews, is people have been saying that you have to plug in the lights to switch them on.
However, I did a firmware update. Those of you drone guys that loves a good firmware update, and that actually fixed that issue. The special effects, these are sick. Don't sound very professional saying that, do it? These are sick, dude. These are very, very good, very, very useful. I like doing fireplace scenes. I love that, and the ambience, going away to Scotland. But you don't really want to put your camera gear in front of the fire and get it melted. So, you create your scenes, you film your scenes, and then you can use a special effect. You just switch it on the app, and you get that flicker. You can place it by your camera gear, and you can trick your viewer, which is what cinematography is about a lot of the time, isn't it? That your gear is closer to the fire than it actually is. What I'd have done for this 10 years ago when I started filming, the issues I've had trying to set up a projector, buying cheap little nasty LED lights that break on Amazon or on eBay. Now I can just use this. I created these scenes using these lights. So if you're creating short films, documentaries, B-roll, cinematic intros, these are good.